Gustavo Neri with AB Boxing News here with Robert Garcia, the busiest man in the world. Took a not last minute trip, but you took a literally like what, 3 hours, 4 hours for. You got here Friday night, right?
After last night fights in Temecula,
Yeah.
I had to be in the airport by. I left my house at 3, so I was there by 4:30. Catch a flight at 6, then I landed here like at 3:30.
Yeah.
And I'm here now, and tomorrow again I have to leave at 3:30 to the airport. So.
Let's talk about Alexis Espino.
Look,
great performance, East Coast of men.
Look, that's why I'm here. I could have easily told my son, we have working Friday, so you go handle the Alexis Espino fight, and it would have been perfect. Also, my dad actually told me, look, you're gonna be so tired, you're gonna drive to the airport and then drive back after the next day, so it's gonna be pretty tiring. My dad told me, tell me that just he could easily handle it himself. But Alexis is a great kid. He's a good learner, he's a good listener, and at least the first few fights, of course, one day anything could happen where maybe we might fight the same day, and I have to go somewhere else, and he goes with Pita and my or Chepe, whoever of my sisters. But if I'm able to do it, that's why I'm here. The kid deserves to have me here, and I'm the one that has to go through the hard times, the struggles to make it here. But I'm here because he's worth it. Yeah. He's definitely doing a good job.
You mentioned it. It's worth it. Alexis Espino, up and coming, and this is the second time I actually seen him. And I don't know if it's me. I mean, I guess because you see him more often, maybe you don't see the difference. But the second time I seen him, I'm like, man, this kid grew, or is he developing to his master?
Look,
like, wow.
He's only 19, so obviously he is growing. Yeah. His body's getting better because. At first he was fighting at 168. Well, actually in the amateurs he was fighting like 178, but his pro debut was 168, and I told him, look, it's best that we drop to 160. So he's cutting a lot of weight, so his body looks a little bit more
leaner, right?
Leaner. So he's eventually he'll be 160 pounder. This fight was a 163. He came in at 163.8 something like that. So 160 is probably where he belongs right now. But he's growing, so eventually he'll go back to a super middleweight.
Yeah, we had a great conversation about in terms of, I looked at his jacket, he had a Julio Cesar Chavez jacket, he had the Mexico flag, and one of the things we were just talking about is just how it doesn't matter about the eras or the time that we live in. We witness history. We talked about it too with the Ruiz Joshua, first Mexican heavyweight champion, and I told them right now he's competing at middleweight. Right now at middleweight, Canelo has been a champion as a Mexican. 68 Ramirez and Canelo. So I was telling maybe down the road as he matures and gets older, he might be the first champion at 75 or even cruiserweight. So it's just crazy how time could just
right now, obviously it's a matter of time right now.
Yeah,
we're taking our time. There's no rush to even think about him fighting for a title anytime soon. But eventually, I think he's big enough and strong enough to compete at 160, 68, and eventually 175. I don't know if he would be the first one, because as you guys probably heard, Canelo's trying to do that right now by fighting Kovalev, and if he does, then he'll be the first ever Mexican to win a title at light heavyweight, which would be huge. And we hope to see that happen, because I think Canelo could pull it off.
Do you like that fight personally? No,
I think Canelo could pull it off, especially if, I wouldn't like to see him, put a weight class where it's a catch weight of 170, 171. I think people would just continue to criticize him for doing that catch weights that he normally does. I think just fight him at 175. I think his skills are good enough. I think he could beat him at 170, even if it's at 175. I don't think the fans would like to see him fight Kovalev, but make Kovalev train himself to 170. I don't think the fans would like, especially the Mexican fans. They wouldn't want Canelo to do that. And if he just goes and fights at 175, I think he could still beat him. And the whole boxing people would really respect that.
There you go. One of the hottest things, now that we talk about Canelo, is that right now people are talking about from 2010 to 2019 who's the fighter of the decade, and for me you're one of the most credible person to ask, because you've been a part of, if not some of the super fights in this last decade or so. So I had 3 names top of my head: Canelo, Pacquiao, and I could say Andre Ward right now. Or is there anybody else that you would consider a candidate for that fighter of the decade?
I'd say Canelo.
Okay.
Andrew Ward, talent-wise, he's probably the best out of all. But he's been retired for a while, and he was never that one superstar like a Pacquiao or a Mayweather or a Canelo.
Okay.
Skills-wise, could be better than all three of those. But I think he never got that fame, that pop, with 15, 20,000 people, unless he was fighting in his hometown. Canelo could do that anywhere he goes. Pacquiao always does it. Mayweather did it many times. So I would say Canelo's probably the top one there, and I don't even think it's close.
There you go. I seen a interesting picture yesterday. This is the last one before I let you go. I know you're busy, man. I seen an interesting picture yesterday. Bob Arum, Mikey Garcia together.
Look,
I know there's a lot of bad blood. But
look, I've always had a good relationship with Top Rank.
Okay.
Bob Arum has always, actually with this kid, we had a good talk with Bob Arum about this kid, Alexis, and every fighters that I have, Top Rank, just like I do with Golden Boy or Eddie Hearn right now, working really good with all of my fighters. I have a good relationship with Bob Arum, and the fight was very close to where we're from, where we train. Mikey asked me, hey, I'm gonna go to the fight. So without even Mikey was gonna go to the fight. I'd say buy his own tickets or whatever. But I called the Top Rank and said, look, Mikey wants to come. Right where they're like, oh, we'd be more than happy to have him. Have him come in. We'll give him credentials. We'll give him tickets. How many does he need? So they took care of him really good, because we have a good relationship. And plus, you can't hold grudges, And in this sport, you have to be friendly with everybody, because you never know what could happen. Right now, Mikey's very comfortable where he's at, fighting for PBC. Even though he's got no commitment, he's very comfortable. But Eddie Hearn has also talked to Mikey many times, and right now, Bob Arum with ESPN and all the deals that he's getting, why wouldn't we be able to sit and maybe have a conversation about future fights? He's got fights that we would love, for Mikey. The main one right now is Lomachenko. I would love that to happen, and then eventually even Crawford. So right there itself, there's two fights that would be huge for boxing, and Bob Arum is the only one that could probably make them happen.
All right, Robert. Thank you for your time. I'm gonna let you go, and congratulations again, Alexis Espino. Great victory, family. Congratulations again, and Robert again.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Thank you.